podcast. This was Mark Maron's take, right? Mark Maron, again, has been going off on Joe Rogan. People have always said, like, why isn't Mark Maron kind of like friends with Joe Rogan? He went on Joe Rogan's podcast in the past years ago, but there had never been like more of a collaboration, more of a friendship. People have always seen him kind of like that, almost, for lack of better terms, they're almost like the white Charlemagne the God and Joe Budden, like in the podcast world, where people are like, hey, there's like this beef between them, but there's similarities. You know, why aren't they working together? This is what they've always felt like, right? It's been the online narrative, but it's now went to a heightened level. Mark Maron recently was also on the Bad Friends podcast, my favorite comedy podcast, where Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. On that podcast was where he was like shitting on Rogan and subbing. I felt like he was subbing Andrew Schultz as well. And then what made it more controversial was the fact that a couple weeks later, Andrew Santino from the Bad Friends podcast went on the Joe Rogan podcast. But they didn't address Mark Maron. They didn't talk about Mark Maron being on. So it's almost like, yeah, you had my op on your podcast, but then you come on my podcast and it's like, oh, we don't talk about it, etc. Joe Rogan has been pretty much quiet about Mark Maron. He hasn't said shit about him. He hasn't really addressed him. He hasn't really like cared to. He has now finally unleashed the wrath on Mark Maron.
And listen, I had to come out here. I had to do this video, okay? And it's been bothering me since it started, right? So when Katt Williams came out with his infamous Club Shannon Sharp interview, right? There's a lot of chatter amongst the urban comics, the black circuit, the Chitlin circuit, and they were all complaining like, yo, why are you out there, you know, you airing our dirty laundry. Why are you giving? It makes us look bad, right? It's like we can't get along. And the white boys, they don't do this. The white comics don't talk shit about each other. And guess what, niggas? Yeah, they do. It's a lot of shit going on right now. We got Rogan talking shit about Maron talking shit about Rogan, Santino putting Mark, like it's a debacle. But why is it so quiet? It is quiet amongst my black people. Because the big thing was it doesn't happen. And now it's happening. Go fucking figure, right? And I love my black people. I really love my black people. And I feel like this. How about we start talking about this sphere? Why don't we talk about what's going on in the white community of comedy? We should be able to put our 2 cents in and get a little bit of that money as well. That's what I've been doing. And it does happen on the other side. So for all of the black comics that were like, it doesn't, no, nigga, it does. Where y'all niggas at now? Where's all the hoopla? Because when Katt was calling out people, and you can't tell someone how they feel, or you can't tell someone what to say, but in this realm, he felt a certain way. And black comics were like, black people always putting each other down. Why don't we be more like the whites and uplift each other? Well, here we are. Couple of months, a year later, and yet it is still happening. That's crazy to me. Like, I want to call out the names, but that would be messy, right? That would be very messy. But what I'm saying is, it happens with everyone. White, black, Asian, Indian. There's always going to be some type of competition. Of course, we're going to try to lift each other up, especially your friends. But if it ain't your friends, we don't really care about them niggas. This is a solo sport. You get on stage and you are by yourself. And a lot of people have writers, so you're not necessarily by yourself. But those people, not good to me. So at some point, we have to realize as the urban group, right, that it happens to all of us, not just us. We're not the only one to do it. I just had to come on here and say that because it's been known amongst the urban comedian that whites don't fight. Whites only uplift each other. And I beg to differ. And we're seeing it live right now. So hopefully my black people with podcasts kind of dive into what's going on and see if we can grab some of that viewership to help us move to that next level as well. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a quick one today. It ain't even going to be no long one. So I'm out. I'll holler at y'all. Check for all the dates. I'm performing left and right. I'm in LA from the 2nd to the 3rd. So if you're in LA, holler at me. And I'll holler at y'all at the next one, man. I got to go and try to see what I can find out what's going on downtown Austin because I'm in the middle of it. So if you want to know something, nigga, just ask.